Series that have gone through the first response.
Okay.
I gotta figure out what to say next.
It should be live. There it is. Cool. There we
Feliz
are.
Navidad.
There we are. We should be all good to go, Daddy O.
Sweetness.
All right. Well, aren't we excited? All right. You know that we got 8 segments we're gonna go through tonight, about 6 minutes apiece. And the hard truth is if your waist is over 40 inches, you're just carrying not just a few extra pounds, you've actually got a chemical factory around your organs.
Pretty much.
So when you were in your prior state, what was your largest weight? Were you over 40-inch waist at all?
I was up to a 50-inch.
Really?
Right before I started the protocol, I was at a 50-inch waist.
You were up to 50 inches. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And so you've changed that, right? You've come down.
Oh yeah, my waist now is a I wouldn't even say 36 fits, but it's 35, 36, somewhere in that range is where I'm
Yeah.
at now. I mean, I went from a 4X shirt to an extra large.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The funny thing is, like, if you're one of the things would be if your inseam is longer, bigger than your waist, we got an issue, don't we?
Yeah. I mean,
That's kind of an interesting gauge.
I was up to 50 32s.
Really.
Yeah.
I got into the 40, I think it was 44. And I go like I'm embarrassed to myself,
Yeah.
because I wasn't gonna buy another pair. And just like, no, this is just I'm not gonna buy clothes the other way. I'm gonna come down. And it's not like we're big boned. And people go, well, you're just big boned. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when your testosterone's that bad off and that low, you last CR is big bone. You'd like to have a big bone, right? But anyway, but your liver is really drowning in its own grease when we're that big, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what did you how long you've been in practicing the protocol for you're headed to like 8 months now?
Yeah. 8 months. I'm down 2 pounds short of 100 pounds, and I've lost 15 inches on my waist now.
15 inches. Yeah, you passed me up. I had lost 14. So,
I was at
and by
14
anybody,
for quite a while.
yeah, by anybody's standard, that's something. Well, no. So the question would be just looking at it from the standpoint of changing that spare tire, that our that belly. Are you thinking that you might then get to a point and then you'll stop doing what you're doing, or are you going to maintain what you're doing?
George, I get asked that all the time, and I don't ever want to go back to the way I was. I mean, I was literally falling apart, and I don't want anybody. And it's so simple. I mean, this is literally the easiest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I don't see myself, I love the taste. I love what it does for me. I see no reason, to stop. I feel healthier. I look healthier. I look younger. And who doesn't want that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are, I'm 20 years older than you, ish, probably. Because you're 50, you're not 60 yet, so you're like
No,
50.
I'm 54. I'll be
Yeah, so
55 on my 55th birthday. I'll be on it for exactly 1 year
that's
because I
yeah.
started it last year on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2 decades on you there, cowboy.
Just a couple,
Just a couple.
minute or two. You're good,
Yeah,
George.
yeah. I've seen like another eclipse or two, but the reality the reality is that one of the great things about the clothing size, just getting that spare tire gone, and kind of like deflated. I mean, it's just kind of nice and smooth, but we didn't. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have any Sharpay skin. I'm not. I don't feel
No,
like the wrinkle
ex-
bugger.
exactly. I've got no loose hanging skin. I'm starting to see definition in my abs,
That's exciting, isn't it?
which I don't think I've even noticed that in probably 30 years. You know, it's been, and then when I was in my early 20s, I worked out 3 hours a day, 6 days a week,
Wow.
and never got that. I was always had big arms, big legs,
Right.
but
Right.
I've struggled with the midsection for since I was in high school.
Sure. 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 So one of the great things about this, guys, is that one of the things we want to talk about is next is, well, when you got the no-go zone, the erectile dysfunction, and we can talk about it, but it's really the canary in the coal mine, because the hard truth is that ED is a blue pill problem, isn't a blue pill problem, it's a plumbing problem. And if you got a plumbing problem, that means the blood flow isn't getting and going down there. And if it's not moving there, it's not going guess where else. It's not getting
Yep.
to your heart. It's not getting to your brain. And
Yep.
what happens too then is that nitric oxide, good gravy, good golly, high insulin resistance does and raises chaos on that gas. And there's gas in the plumbing workout. So if you think about ED and get the junior high out of your mind and think about it as a plumbing problem. Well, what's happening there is that you don't fix the faucets, right? You don't fix the faucet if the pipes are clogged with sewer sludge. And here our pipes are plugged with what? Sugar
Yeah.
sludge.
Yep.
So I don't know. I was never, I mean, we got 20 years difference between us. Did you ever notice ED?
Yep.
Okay.
At the
And were you
time,
a
I thought it was stress and just not in the mood, things like that. And it it doesn't start out obviously the way it ends, but it started out as, yeah, once in a great while. Then it got a little more frequent, and then it's like, what in the hell's going on?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and then it's like, do you go? Now, I mean, for me, again, generations apart, right? 20 years apart. I mean, we never would have thought about anything like that. It's
I
got to be,
talked
yeah,
I talked to my doctor one time because it's not something that you readily just, hey, check this out.
yeah,
It isn't.
no,
It's extremely emasculating.
it is. It really is, and so people are trained now to reach for a pill or whatever, but it does create a strain in relationships,
Oh yeah,
and so everybody just thinks about it. Would you agree that one of the issues is that people just think about it as a sexual thing? They don't think about it as a plumbing, as what else is going on, what else is happening, what that low testosterone and affecting into the erectile dysfunction and all the ramifications, that the psychological and stress levels
yep.
that we go through.
Oh, most definitely.
But it's something that, again, is one of the things that Keith and I believe is that it's preventable. Food got us into this mess, and food will get us out of it. I mean, really,
Took
at the end
40
of the
years to
day,
get here.
it can't be any simpler than that. So one of the things that happens right along with that, so if we're talking about the brain, about part of that, the head and the top, right? The two roundies. I mean, and if the plumbing's not right, brain fog. Let's talk a little bit about brain fog. And what did you remember about let's talk about the transition from having brain fog, which you probably had
Oh
at
yeah,
times. Did you know you had brain fog? And
not a clue.
not a clue.
I mean, I guess I noticed looking back on it, I was getting a lot more forgetful. I wasn't able to concentrate like I once did. You know, when I was going through high school, I could sleep through half my classes and still walk away with A's, B's, and C's. And as I got older, it was getting harder. The recall was getting a lot harder, where I couldn't, things things that I would do last week, they'd be like, "Oh, what'd you do?" I don't know. You just I'd forget what I was doing more times than not walking into another room. I, Heck, I'd forget right in the middle of walking.
Yeah, I get that because it's not about forgetting your keys or losing your edge. It isn't just aging that our brains are struggling to process fuel.
Right.
And so it's not senior moments. I mean, I could now at 74 I could fall on, oh, it's just a senior moment, like, but you at 30 or 40, you can't
Yeah.
call it a senior moment. 50, you can't call it a senior moment, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is like, oh, it's really kind of like a metabolic blackout. Think about it that. What about that as a concept? Brain fog is a metabolic blackout. I remember I would be going along and I would forget someone's name or forget lyrics to a song. Or,
Yeah.
things that you were just like repetitive, 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 repetitive.
It
Like,
was getting to the point, George, I was struggling recalling people's names while I was talking to them.
yeah,
You'd go to respond with, hey, Chris, or hey, George, and it'd be like, yeah, I feel like I should know your name. And I used to be awesome with names. I could recall, heck, things that a lot of people I knew weren't,
right.
you know, and it was getting pretty bad there at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I know because for myself, I was the very first Weakest Link. I beat out 100,000 people to get on the Weakest Link show. You are the Weakest Link. Goodbye. That was me. Okay. Um, and then I made it to the live pool for when Regis had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I was in the live pool before he left the show. When he left the show, then I wasn't in the pool anymore. They changed that format. So I had a little bit of ability for remembering a lot of nonsense, right?
Oh yeah.
And and then the one day that I remember where I drove back and forth to my house 5 times because I forgot something. I forgot my phone. So I turned around in my car, went back to the house, got the phone on the butcher block, got to the stop sign. Oh shoot, I forgot my my bag, my briefcase. All right, so turn around, go back and get it. Oh, it was on the butcher block where the phone was. Get on the car, go back out. Oh shoot, I forgot my drink. I'll turn around, come. I did that 5 times. I mean, it's just like, oh, and just that kind of blackout. I mean, it really, you understand that. I mean, like we're talking to someone, and then it's like, and we have to in our head. I don't know about you, but then I would quick try to solve the puzzle. I would be like playing, um, Wheel of Fortune. I'm trying to buy a vowel. Or I know there's an R in it. It's
Right.
Ronnie, Robert, Roger, Ray. And then you just change the subject because you think the silence has been like an hour and they're wondering what you're doing, and it's a millisecond of blacking out with no energy in your brain to stimulate that out, and you successfully motor that. But did anybody ever notice that you were like that? Had you ever
Oh yeah.
mentioned that?
I was definitely like that. I mean, it was getting worse by the I don't even want to say by the year. I mean, I noticed differences looking back on it. You know, I easily every 3 months I'd
Okay.
notice a significant decline
Yeah.
in my recall and my and remembering things that I never had to remember. I just
Yeah.
knew.
That was kind of where I was kind of a scary awakening for myself too. Is because I love singing. I love singing in a choir, and
Hmm.
I like Latin, and a lot of that I have in my head, and I can read and all that. The way the structure is, and a lot of it's already memorization that I've had for 30, 40, 50, 60 years plus. And then I'd be going along and I would like forget. Like,
Yeah, right in the
no.
middle of doing it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like, whoa, like, oh yeah. So I get that. All right. So we're up to what we need to talk about is good old the spent energy,
Oh
the
Lord.
battery, the fatigue. I mean, I'm telling you, did you ever notice that you lost a tad bit of energy and spin?
Oh God, in more ways than one. I mean, I used to be able to stay up, you know, midnight, 1 in the morning, when I was younger, you could run on 3 hours of sleep
Yep.
comfortably.
Yep.
Now, as I got older and as it got worse, I could sit down and eat at 6 o'clock at night, and by 7 o'clock I was sound asleep. I could drink a Mountain Dew, the
Yeah.
leaded version, not even the diet or any of that,
Yeah.
and literally go right to sleep. Whereas it should have kept me up half the night, and it didn't. I was sound asleep, and I
Yep.
was just getting more tired and more tired. Uh, it was. I didn't realize just how bad it was until last year when there was nothing. I could probably lay down in bed and sleep for 16 hours and
If you didn't
still
have to
wake
get up
up
and
feeling
pee.
miserable.
If you didn't have to get up and pee, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because one of the crazy things is chronic fatigue is like having the mitochondria melted battery. Because the hard truth is that we don't lack willpower. We just lack the ATP, the adenosine triphosphate. Testosterone is a spark plug for the cells, and without it, you're a Ferrari with no battery. You may look good, and in our cases, we didn't. We looked like Orca and the polar bear and the Pillsbury, woohoo boy kind of thing, right?
Yep.
But we didn't have the energy and free testosterone. I mean, it's not about what you have. That's the total. It's about the available free to work. So I mean, even when they do measurements, well, you have free testosterone. Well, what do we have? Your total testosterone, what's available to work? What can get into the cell? And in coffee won't fix the cellular power outage.
Yeah.
You got to try to jumpstart it. And one of the things that we've got, and I know you enjoy it a lot now, is looking at an electrolytic start and a jumpstart is the minerals that we can get in this mineral pack. I mean, you enjoy it a lot, don't you?
Oh God, yes. And what a lot of people don't understand is when you get to where you and I were at, you can be taking handfuls of supplements and it does virtually nothing.
Right. Because it can't get in, it can't get
Yep.
through. It just
Yep. It's like the mailman delivering it to your door every day and you can't open the front door to get it.
Yep, yep, yep. And so when you pee the 15th time in the day, it's orange, like there's the dollars going out because it ain't going anywhere inside the body.
I used to joke with people that I could literally stand in the bathroom while drinking, and it was like there was a tube directly from one to the other.
Yep,
As fast as it was going in, it was coming right back out.
absolutely. And now, cool, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, it really is because once you get the minerals balanced out, I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, you know how things work,
Yep.
and we know that our kidneys are working well and that. And if you ever want to check how your kidneys are working, have some asparagus, and you'll know you'll know in no time that swampy water, right?
Hmm.
There's John. And right on swamp water, John shows up.
That makes
Get
perfect
out of me,
sense now.
swamp.
Right here comes Shrek right out of the
Right.
swamp. We're talking
Oh.
about John. We're talking about the power of the battery and the energy and the fatigue. We're kind of talking a minute about the minerals in Signal. You enjoy Signal, don't you?
Oh, I love Signal. I would drink it all day long if I had enough to drink it all day.
It
I
is.
think
It's kind of fruit punchy, right?
Right.
I think two a day most days.
Do you drink it? Is it a straight or do you mix it up with other stuff?
Nope. I drink it
I,
straight.
I used to mix it with Stronghold until the last call we had Saturday about mixing Stronghold with Balance. Now I do the Balance and Stronghold instead of the other way around.
Yeah, I've got to catch up with that one. But so the balance, and the stronghold, then that's the combo.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you like the old strong or the new strong?
I like them both actually. I like the pineapple flavor, but they don't make it no more. So,
Yeah.
but the peach mango is good too. I like it too. So,
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Well, beans were. John showed up. We're starting right on cue with grumpy old man.
well, I'm not as grumpy as I used to be. I mean, doing this kind of changed all that.
Yeah, and so grumpy is a physiological state of low T and high cortisol, and that makes us reactive, anxious, and short-tempered. Did you
Mhm.
guys experience that kind of a thing, John?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I was, a lot of people would call me high-headed, but I always thought I wasn't. But, I was actually pretty high-headed compared to what I see now. Um, I didn't see it back then, but I look back on it and I'm like, holy crap, I was such a hothead. And it didn't matter who you were. If it wasn't, my idea or my type of day, I bit your head off. It was just that simple. And, I never realized that I was doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I just thought I was just a jerk or just a big a-hole. But, in all
Well,
reality,
and see, that's the whole thing. It's not that you're a jerk. It's just that we're biologically incapable of being happy because our
right,
hormones are in war.
right. We're
It's
just
chaos.
firing every direction besides the proper way. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Keith, were you a get off my lawn kind of guy?
Not when I was younger. As I got older, I definitely turned into that picture of the movie Grumpy Old Men. I was. It seemed later on that every little thing would set me off, and not necessarily set me off in a rage, but you just everything became negative.
Yeah, it's just kind of right?
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't necessarily I was being a John. but in things I said to people were like, wow, I really could have said that better. I really didn't intend for that to come out that way. And I know that I've damaged a few relationships because of that. But now I am in a great mood 99% of the time. I
Yeah,
really am.
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that in both of you. How you guys have morphed. I mean, John, I've known John for a year, and Keith, I've known you for 8 months. But I've seen how you guys have transformed. I mean, John is entirely calm. I still don't want to run into him in a dark alley. If he's
Come
behind me
on.
and helping me, yeah. But to
I'm
come
only
up against that wall,
I'm
no.
only half the size I used to be now. Come
I
on
know.
now.
Yeah. Actually, I think now I've lost more than you, John.
You
We're
probably have.
close. I know we're pretty close.
Yeah,
You
between
probably
the
have
two
because
of
I've actually put some weight
yeah,
back
aren't you
on.
guys between the two of you like 200?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
2 pounds short of 100, and I think John's about the same, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I was the lowest I ever got down to was 216. So that put me to like about 103, 104 pounds I lost from the get-go. But because of doing the balance and stronghold, and I'm not fasting as much as I used to, I've actually put weight back on. I'm back up to 230 pounds at the moment. So yeah.
I'm
Perfect.
sitting at a
And that ties
crisp.
right into number 7 or 6, the shrinking frame.
Right.
Oh,
Losing that muscle does that to you.
it does, doesn't it? You know, and at 70, I'm supposed to be losing 1% of my muscle mass every year, right? I'm
That's what
supposed
they
to,
claim.
that's
y-
but I'm not. I'm the
You're
other
more like
side,
gaining the
right?
mus. You're gaining
Yeah,
more every
you're
year.
gaining that 1%, if not
I'm
more.
gaining that back. And that's part of the additional tea that comes along too. And I don't mean the drinking tea, but the big tea, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And have you guys seen that as well? I mean, John, you've always been a bodybuilding muscle Lou Ferrigno monster.
Yeah, I mean, since doing this, getting the hormones back in check, getting all that done, and then doing the stronghold now with that, I've put on a good 2, 3 inches on my biceps without even going to the gym.
Yeah.
Um, People don't believe it, but it's the truth. I haven't stepped foot in the gym in 15 years. So, I mean, I don't do any body weight exercises, just besides picking my big butt out of a chair off the floor or running after my grandkid or just going for a walk. Other than that, that's all the exercises I get. I don't do anything special.
Yeah, we just want to become lean. We just want to be lean and mean and not soft and saggy, right?
Right. Well, I'm still a little soft and saggy, but that's also because of doing the HCG diet 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight in that time, but like what happened then was like what people think when you lose weight fast, you think you have that saggy skin. Yeah, I did then, not now, but
Right.
I haven't fully got rid of it. I mean, it is shrinking, but not as fast as I want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
But
when we have changed our gravity challenge
yep,
and shrunk our pant and shirt sizes, we didn't also become Sharpays.
yeah, and I didn't shrink my pants by wearing not smart, skinny jeans either. So
Oh
don't think
God.
of just by changing
Don't
by
put that in
changing
my
your
head.
pants style, you know what I mean?
Skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just Keith, I just visualized John like from Robin Hood.
That oh sweet Lord.
Men in
That
tights.
Amen.
Men
Amen.
in tights.
John just went down a rung on that ladder of
He
life.
just has a tendency to take me
Hey
down
man,
these paths.
I can't embarrass myself any more than I have by running around in front of people wearing spandex and doing
Oh.
flips and backflips. I mean, I have to go get those and try them on. I have not tried those on since
They're way too big.
they're probably way too big.
I heard that in the background.
Catherine says they're way too big.
Yeah, they're probably way too big now. I mean, they barely fit when I
I'm
was
sure they
jeans.
are. Hey, Catherine, I love you. It's good to hear your voice, girlfriend.
I love you too.
All right, so let's talk about getting. We're wrapping up close here. We're getting ready to go. Midnight run. The midnight run. We're looking at sleep in the prostate, guys. how was sleep back in the day before we started the protocol?
2 hours.
Yeah, I was about to say 2.5, maybe
Yep.
3 if you're lucky.
Up and down all night long, whether
Mhm.
going to the bathroom or pain or I was lucky if I got 3 consecutive hours of sleep.
Real.
Yep.
Now, did you have I don't know that either one of you had a sleep apnea story, though, do you? Neither one of you had that, or no?
I did 30 years ago, 28 years ago, and they did a surgery, removed my uvula and redid a bunch of stuff
Your what?
with my, what was that, George?
You got your what removed?
Uvula,
This
the
is
little dangly thing in the
testosterone
back of your
That little,
Tuesday.
throat.
that little
This
punching
is
bag. Yeah.
Testosterone Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, no, years ago, I was told by my doctor I had sleep apnea, but we never got a CPAP or never went further from there. So I don't know if I had it bad enough to the point that I had to have a machine, but I know there was a few times that my wife would literally elbow me in the middle of the night, waking me up because she thought I was not breathing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
This is true.
yeah.
But he kept breathing because you kept elbowing him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Wasn't gonna let him die.
Not that easy, at least.
But yeah, it was I tried the machine and I could never get it to fit, and then that's when they chose the surgery option,
Okay.
which helped dramatically, but yeah, I still wasn't sleeping, still, just as miserable. Anytime I went and got a TWIC card for transportation workers credentials, and immediately, oh, we got to put you through a sleep study. Oh crap, here we go. Because they
Yeah.
obviously don't want you passing away on their dime.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I passed it, no problem, but but yeah, that, and I was snoring like a freight train.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, I didn't know if you guys had learned this, but I just recently learned that deep sleep is when testosterone is actually manufactured. So no sleep, no
Did
T.
not did not know that. That
Yeah,
explains a lot.
You know,
yeah.
I knew that about 2 seconds ago.
You can no T, lots of P, right? We're staying in the
Right.
alphabet.
Yep, exactly. Or you're peeing out the tea.
Yeah, there you go. Both sides of it. But I mean, like, I didn't know that, but it starts to some of this stuff. The more we learn, the more we study, the more we converse and go through, the more things start to like, holy moly. But we're learning it from
the tool that will
outside, aren't
organize your
we?
financial life.
We're learning it from outside. We're not learning it from the institutional world, are we? Which is
No.
kind of interesting that way.
The wrong way first.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
and the other
Doing a
thing
lot of
is,
research.
have you done as I don't know if you guys have had issues with on your PSA, but as we move forward, as our T increases, our testosterone increases, and the stress comes down, our PSA scores will also should be driving down as well, because insulin resistance also raises that. And I don't know if either one of you had that as an issue before measurements or anything like that.
Yeah, the
I-
only. Go ahead, Keith.
I can't say as I have, George, to be honest with you. I may have, and it was never a topic of
Okay.
discussion.
Okay.
Yep. The only
Yeah,
issue I had with the letter P, there was two issues. One, like the majority of guys do, erectile dysfunction is the
Right.
easiest way to numb it because I don't want to offend anybody by saying the other word. But the other one is PMS, Park Motorcycle Syndrome. So, yeah.
Gotcha. I understand that. Well, the one thing for me, I was actually diagnosed as stage 2 prostate, and they went and they did 11 biopsies.
Oh, wow.
And I go, if you're going to do 11 biopsies, just take the thing out,
Right.
take the Swiss cheese out of it.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
take
and
it out anyway.
they're pinging me. And I'm like, that's number 3. I go, I know how many it is. You don't think I'm counting? Good gravy. You know, but yeah, now the PSA is like, that was a while ago, but now my PSA is well inside of the 4 and below. Just so
Man,
you
how
know.
did you live, George? I mean, 11 biopsies, and then the doctors and the labs, the hospital calling you because they think you're having a heart
Yeah.
attack or
Yeah.
dead on the golfing course because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, how did you live?
God just says, I need to be around to annoy you boys.
Right.
He lived the same way we did. Your social calendar becomes your medical
Yep,
calendar.
exactly. So our last finish off the 8 ball tonight is this silent killer, the A1C and blood pressure. So what are your guys' history in terms of blood pressure or A1Cs? What did you guys realize or see those things? Keith?
Oh gosh. I've always had a little bit, I've had issues since I was in my since I was 30, 25 years. And when I found out because my dad was a diabetic, and I mentioned I'd been going to the bathroom a lot, and he's like, swing by the office, let me check it. And he checked it and he goes, yeah, you need to go to the doctor. And I said, okay. So I drove straight to the doctor. My blood sugar was 600 and my A1C just showed greater than 14. And I struggled for, oh gosh, up until probably the last 5 years. And I'd finally gotten it down to the mid sevens. It always fluctuated a little bit. And now my A1C, as of a week ago, is a solid 5.
There you go.
I
And
mean,
what?
and my blood pressure has always been a little bit high, not horrible, like 130 over 90, nothing real spectacular until when I came out of the hospital with AFib and it was 200 over 100. And every time I'd stood up, it'd drop 100 points and I'd collapse.
Wow.
And now my blood pressure's right where it needs to be. And my cardiologist was amazed. She's the one that told me your AFib's gone, and I see no reason for it to come back. You know, I had a monitor on my chest that I walked around with, and what a pain in the butt that thing is because it never sticks. And they tell you, oh, you can shower with it. Yeah, till the second shower and it comes unpeeled, and they're calling you because they're freaking out thinking you're dead.
Obviously not, because you answered the phone.
Well,
Yeah,
right, you know, and
we think he's dead. Let's call him. What?
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Let's phone a friend and see what goes on. And I
What's
was
more
able to
accurate,
get
life
I
alert
was
or
able to
that
get
phone
off
call?
that in I was able to get off that in 2 weeks off the monitor
Yeah.
and 3 months before. And at one point I was on 5 different blood pressure medications:
Wow.
spirulactone, carvedilol, gosh, amlodipine, amlodipine, lisinopril, 3 different scripts for lisinopril, and 2 water pills.
Okay.
And I'm like, I take none of that now.
Oh wow.
Well, besides
Nice.
salt.
Well, right.
Isn't that funny? Water pills, isn't that salt?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's patented salt.
Yeah. They tell you not to take it
Don't take it,
because they
but here,
want
we'll
you to,
prescribe it to you.
yeah, they want you to buy their salt, not
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
else's salt.
Yeah, perfect. So, John, what about you? Did you have this an
Well,
issue with blood pressure?
blood pressure, high A1Cs. I mean, when I got diagnosed was back in January 2000 when I was 21. They never checked my A1C. I don't know if they checked them back then or not, or if they did them at that time. But I know when I got diagnosed, I was like you, George. My fasting glucose was almost 900. So I imagine when I first got diagnosed, I was probably in the 18s, like you were.
Yeah.
Uh, but over the years, my highest A1C since that I can remember having was a 15. And mine before this, before doing the protocol, was a 9.4. And then after, 3, 4 months on the protocol, I got it down to a 6.1. And then drastically, like I redid it back in October, just thinking, 10 months on the protocol, see what's going on. And a lot of people freaked out because my A1C went back up. It went up to a 9.8, which is higher than
Right.
it was before I started.
Right.
But everybody's like, whoa, I'm like, yeah, it can happen because, I wasn't eating a clean diet. I was still eating junk. I was really putting the
Okay.
protocol to a test. I was
There
eating
you
this,
go.
eating that, eating this, eating that, but I was doing my intermittent fasting and I was taking the fiber before I ate. And even though my A1C went up, and even though my fasting glucose was a 148, but the thing is, oh, that's high. I'm like, yeah, it can be. But the thing is, I took a fasting glucose at 80 hours of fasting. So I was either way, way high because of what I was, putting the protocol to a test.
Sure.
But the
Sure.
thing is my fasting insulin at that time was a 3.5, where you want it to be.
Right.
And all my other numbers, like my HDL went up, my triglycerides went down, my cholesterol went up, my LDL was still the same, but I wasn't too worried about it because my triglycerides dropped and my HDL went up, which means I'm getting the right type of LDL.
Right.
So that's why I wasn't too worried about it. And that's the
Sure.
other thing too, is like, 25 years of damage to the body by doing what I, metabolic dysfunction. Yeah, my insulin was low. My A1C was high. My fasting glucose was not terribly high, but not really wanted to be for fasting. But the thing is 25 years of metabolic dysfunction, you're not going to change that in a matter of 3 months, 6 months.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
It,
now you've been on a year, haven't you?
yeah, I've been a little over a year. I need to get a new test done to see where I'm at. Because since that test, yes, I've been a little more, shouldn't say stricter, but I've been better
Sure.
at what I choose to eat. I don't eat as much carbs as I did used to because
Yeah.
I'm really not putting the protocol to the test. Because even though I nailed it and I tested it hard, but I still lost weight. I still reversed my diabetes. I still kept dropping. I was improving. So, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It
Good.
works. If you're
Cool.
consistent, it works.
Yeah. Sam, how
So,
long have you been on the
So,
protocol?
A year.
You've been on a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Question I asked these guys already, I ask you is, so you've been on a year, so you ready to get off of it?
No, I just, it's been decades of learning and obviously struggling with, I shouldn't have said learning because I didn't know anything about insulin resistance, but I had eaten a certain way for decades and I kept putting on the weight. Brain fog was getting worse. I felt horrible, depression, anxiety. It's like, where's all this coming from? What is going on? I mean, got an amazing wife and great kids. And I mean, what do I have to be stressed about? I mean, just, I was just constantly stressed out. And it was like, it was crazy what was starting to happen to me. And my brain fog was so horrible. When I actually was started to do a little bit in my retirement, I started to do a little bit of RV transport, run down to Indiana and pick up some RVs and deliver them to the dealerships. And my wife and I would travel. We'd go wherever we want to go. And it was kind of a cool gig. We really enjoyed it. But last year I took one to Santee, California. And I get out to Santee and I go to log my hours on my app on my phone to log my hours back. And I pulled out my phone to log my hours and I didn't know how to do it. Literally, I did not know what I was looking at. And I had logged hundreds, if not thousands of hours over 3.5 years. I mean, we put on about 120,000 miles a year. So we were out going and move. We were doing a lot of things and really traveling and enjoying some things. And man, it was crazy what happened to me in January. I was afraid. I mean, my aunt, we buried her 2 years ago. She's 18 years older than me. Alzheimer's. My grandfather died of Alzheimer's. He had 9 siblings. They all died of Alzheimer's. And I just was seeing this picture of that's where I was heading. And man, I got out of my truck and I pleaded with God to give me direction, show me, teach me, help me to learn what is going on in my body, what's going on in my head. you know, and I was just really struggling hardcore, and I was afraid.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
it was
So
challenging.
we've been playing 8 ball tonight. We've kind of been having some fun with talking about, and what you hit was the number 3, the brain fog, and we've talked about the spare tire. So I'm going to ask you, did you have a spare tire at all? What was your largest waist as opposed to your inseam?
My largest inseam was 40, probably a 42 waist.
Okay, with us, what do you have? You're about my height, aren't you? About 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, I'm 5'10". Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're taller than me by a bunch. But anyway, so your inseam is what, about 34?
Yeah, 34 currently. Yeah.
So you had like a 10, 20, 10 plus difference between the inseam to the waist. Now where are you at with that?
Yeah, so I'm a 34 waist currently, and I am from a 3X, 2X for sure, but some 3X shirts, and I'm down to an extra large now.
Okay, quick question then with that drop, because we've got about 2 minutes here. We're going to wrap this up. With that drop, did you also then look like a Sharpay, or did you not? Did you just melt away?
Yeah, no, it was a melt away for sure. I mean,
Perfect.
you know, it just was it was steady. It's been a year. I've been able to keep the weight off, was a big one for me, because I had tried some things in the past and never been able to keep my weight, you know, the yo-yo diets, and
Yeah.
this has been steady. And you know, I'm just looking forward to this next year and just even greater health benefits. So
And how much less gravity challenge do you have? I know John's about 100 less gravity challenge, and Keith's about 98 less gravity challenge. And where are you at with that, Sam? How much have you decreased your gravity challenge and impact on Mother Earth?
66.
66, Route 66. All
Yeah.
right, I love it. You went from a 40 to a 34, and you've gone from shirts with X's to maybe just an L.
Multiple
And
X's.
also, how old is Sam?
I'll be 65 in August.
65, and he dropped 66 pounds. I mean, that's unheard of. You know, we're not supposed to be able to do that at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here
awesome.
we are. We got a 70, a 60, and a 70, 60, and 5s. Hey, this is great. We just need to find some 3s and 2s. But anyway,
Right.
guys, this has been a great night. We've got the 48 minutes in. Sam, thanks for coming in board. John, thanks for coming in right on cue from the swamp. Thanks for being here the whole time. Guys, it's been a great night. I'll see you next Tuesday, hopefully, or whatever. And see you on the next call.
Sounds
and
good.
have a great night.
You too.
See you, brother.
Night.